Alright, how's it going everybody? My name is Christian King and this is going to be the first tutorial video of Defy. I am going to start the series, or start the channel off I should say, as creating a series of how to create a Discord bot. So there's a few things that you'll need to do before you do this, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So first you want to create your dev account, which you want to go to your Discord settings and you want to go to appearance. Scroll down into advanced until you see developer mode and just tick that on. What that'll do is it'll allow you to do things that the Discord developers are normally able to do themselves. Anyway, once you have that, you'll be able to come to the Discord developer portal, which this is a different bot that I've created for my friend. But you will see this page right here, and you won't see any applications or whatnot, and you'll see this, a blank page, and you'll come over here to new application. You'll give it your title you want, so just test, blah 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 blah, and you'll give it a team. You only really need to do that if you have any teams created. And finally, you'll have the documentation, which I suggest if you really want to learn how to create bots a little more in depth. You look at the documentation because there's a whole lot it teaches you about what a guild is and how the different well, I'm really blanking, the different identifiers you can use. So you have the Discord ID, or the guild ID, the guild name, the guild roles, but anyway, that's not what this video is about. But I suggest if you want to learn more that I won't be able to teach you, use the documentation. But the bot that we are going to be turning on and using is our dev bot, and we are going to add it to our server, which I suggest you come in. It's called Developer's Eyes, and it is the server for you to come in and basically hang out with us, ask us questions. Our sister Discord is the Symbiosis Kingdom, which will be linked in join our server, our sister server. Anyway, yeah, no, come into our Discord. It'll be linked in the description. It's also linked on our YouTube page. But just come in if you have any questions. I'll be adding in some extra text channels for you to come in. But yeah, no, so we're going to add our bot to this server and get it working. So first what we want to do is, once we have our bot created, we're going to come in here, bot. It won't look like this. First off, it'll actually look like, I'll show you what it'll look like at first. And I did not spell test right. At first, it'll look like this. So what we're going to want to do, actually I'll just show you anyway. We're going to add bot, and it'll say, do you want to do this? Because this is irreversible. Yes, of course we do. So we created our bot, cool beans, yada yada yada. We have this page right here. So you'll see the name, you have a picture if you have a picture, you have a token. Do not reveal this token to anybody. Keep this private. This is your gateway to anybody being able to access this bot, and you do not want that. Anyway, so we wanted to add this bot to the server. So we're going to come up to OAuth 2, which is just our double authorization. We're going to click bot, and it's going to pull up this bot permissions. We want to make it an admin, obviously. And you probably have seen these links before, but it's just the link to add the bot. So we're going to come into our page right here. We're going to select which server we want to, and I'm going to do the Developer's Eyes, and then just make sure administrator is clicked on, and then you want to make sure you're not a robot, and I probably am, and I'm not. Perfect. So it's not a robot creating another robot. Anyway, so we will come over here back into our Discord, and we'll see that our bot is in the server, but it's not active. How do we turn it on? So what we want to do is we want to come into our folder, which I suggest you create a folder on your desktop, somewhere safe, an external hard drive, wherever you think that a bot's files will remain safe. But you want to create a folder, and so I've created one on my desktop with the other bots that I've created, and I've named it DevBot, just like its name. And what we want to do is, you can go into your command prompt and do your cd users, and I'm not good at doing all that stuff, unfortunately, because it's a lot easier if you click onto the File Explorer's thread, just do CMD, it'll open it up itself, and that's how I normally do it. It's a lot easier. And what we want to do here is we want to do npm init. And first off, if you're not familiar with the command prompt, it's essentially just a window that allows you to get into the files just a lot quicker. But anyway, so once we're in our folder, the right directory, we want to do npm init. So what we're doing is we're doing node package manager initialization, which node.js is the syntax that we will be using to create our bot. So anyway, we do npm init, and you can also actually do npm init-y to do all this process itself. This utility will walk you through. That's weird as shit. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you'll see all this stuff. I have a big brain there, but so you'll see your package name, devbot, your version, and you can just click enter throughout all of these, or you can just do it by itself by doing the -y. But description, this is a bot. Cool. Our entry point, index.js, that's what we want. Test command and get repository and keywords, you don't really need to worry about those. Authors, I'll put my name, and I suggest you don't put my name, put your own name. And once that has been done, you'll see all this, your name, version, description, main, scripts, author, license, all this stuff. If it's correct, just hit yes, or type in yes, and then we can come back here and see that a pretty little package was created. So what we want to do now is we want to open up Visual Studio, and we will open up our folder, which if you don't see your folder right here like you do mine, we'll open a local folder, and then we will find our folder right here. So this PC, desktop, bots, devbot, will probably show something different for you. But if this is the bot, or if this is the folder, select, and we will be in our Visual Studio. Now, yours may or may not have the Solution Explorer right here. If your Visual Studio does not show the Solution Explorer, just come to the View tab. It's the very first one, or Control-Alt-L. Click that and you'll see your Solution Explorer with the correct folder selected. So just to make sure everything works or is set up properly, we have our devbot, our version, the description, this is a bot, our main, index.js, which this is the file in which all of our code will be inside of. Eventually we will create a few more files, but all of our main code is going to be in this index.js file. So we're going to come over here, make sure our devbot is clicked, go to add file, and then since this is the main file, we want to make sure it is titled exactly like the main file here, index.js, index.js. Perfect. So let's open that bad boy up, and now we want to make sure that we have our Visual Studio able to talk to Discord. So what we want to do is npm install, which again, that's node package manager, so we're installing discord.js. So what's going to happen is you'll see a little bit of a window that pops up, and it'll download the discord.js dependency. And if you see this warn here, don't worry about that. It's just telling you that you don't have a repository field. But if you get this found and then a number of vulnerabilities, then you know it worked fine. So we're going to come over here, and we want to do, I'm going to comment it out, so if I don't explain it as well, we are going to require the discord.js dependency, and I can't spell. Anyway, so what we want to do is here make sure I'm doing this properly, and I am, okay. We want to do const discord, which what this is it is the continuous variable. So we're going to do const discord require, so making sure that every bit of code that has to do with this discord.js requires this like dependency, requires this dependency. So we'll do discord, or require discord.js. Perfect. And then we will create our second dependency, which is our client. So we want to create our client, creates the client dependency. So we'll do const, once again, client, which if you don't know what the client is the bot itself, but we want to make sure we are creating it, so we're going to type in new. So since there's no existing client yet, we want to create a new client, so we do discord dot client right there. Perfect. Make sure we close our bracket off. And then one little thing we want to do, there's other ways to do it, but this just makes it a lot easier. We're going to create another file, which is our configuration. So we're going to do config.json, JSON. And what we're going to put in here is we're going to open up our brackets, and we are going to put in a prefix, and we are also going to put in our token. Oh no, not token 0. So what this is we are configuring some information in this file here rather than doing it in the index.js, because some bot files, they have thousands of lines of code and it gets to be a headache eventually, where if you want to find out what your prefix is or your token is, so you can easily come into your configuration file, and there are eventually we'll be adding more to this stuff. But anyway, what we want to do is we will come right here, const, and instead of just typing in prefix or token, we want to open up our curly brackets. We're going to do prefix, comma, token, and then equals. And then here's where it gets a little tricky, because we want to make sure that we are in the proper thread. So we're going to do require, not request animation, require, and then like I said, we want to be in our proper thread, so we're going to do period / config.json. So what this does here is it makes sure that we are in the proper file, which is our JSON file, and then it grabs the prefix and then the token. So before I continue and actually get to turning the bot on, this is what we want to do. We want to come back to our developer portal, and remember this token right here that I said keep a secret. We want to copy the token, or you can click to reveal. I'm not going to reveal it. And we will come into our configuration, which I'm going to pull this over here real quick. Actually, before we do that, I'll just show you the prefix. The prefix can be any sort of symbol you want. It can be an exclamation point, it could be an @ symbol, it could be the percentage sign, it could be the tilde key, but since most bots use the exclamation point, we're going to do exclamation point for our prefix. And then our token, the token we just clicked, is going to be put in this space right here. But I'm going to pull this over. So now I have my token in there, and you can take my word for it, but if you don't want to, that's fine. I don't blame you. But what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're able to turn our bot on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do client.once, so it's only running once, parentheses, open up our string here, ready, and then we want to open up our brackets. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do console.log, and eventually you can get a little more interesting with it. Rather than just sending this message to the console letting you know that the bot is on, you can send it to a text channel with only your information on, or only your access to, and we'll eventually get to that here in a bit, but that's going to be for a later video. But so we'll do console.log, this bot is online. So what we did here so far is we required our discord.js dependency, we created our client, we have created our configure.json file, and then we told the bot that once it's online, send this message to the console, which will be set in here. Last but not least, we want to do client.login token. So if all works properly, we can come into our command prompt. We can do node period, and it should say this bot is online. Perfect. And if we come over to our server, our bot's online. Look at that. Our bot is online. Perfect. Now, just a little rule of thumb, if you close out this command, the command prompt or the Visual Studio Code, it will turn the bot off. In a later video, I will show you how to host the bot yourself on what is called Heroku. You can also find other videos online. Anyway, let's tell the bot to say hello. So right now, if I come into the server and I just say, I'll do it in, actually, you know what? Let's do it in bot tutorials. If I say hello, nothing happens. So what we want to do is we want to tell the bot to tell us or send us a message. So what we want to do is, this is for sending a hello message. We want to do client.on since we have the bot running, and if the client is on, we want to send a message. So in our string, we'll put in message, do comma, message to get the message identifier. If I can type, there we go. And then so what we want to do is want to create an argument. So we're going to create a variable called args, which this is also can be whatever you want, but it's going to be message dot content, which actually before I continue, I'm going to explain this. So a message.content makes sure that if our this is just the content of a message we send. So message.content.slice prefix dot length. It would be I'd appreciate it if it went away. Length dot split, just like that. So what this is doing is it's telling us that the message needs an argument. So we're creating an argument basically. So I'm going to try to explain this the best I can, but what we're doing is the message has nothing in it right now, and that's what the argument is nothing. So we're going to create a switch loop. I don't know if that's the right word, but think of a if statement, but a lot easier for the computer to read, because if statements, you're running through every if and else if, that it's checking if it's this, no, if it's this, no, if it's this, no, if it's this. A switch basically runs if it's only this, you don't have to run anything else. So it's only checking for one thing, rather than an if statement, it's checking for a bunch of them. So we want to do args, switch args 0, open our curly brackets here, case, and then so our case is essentially the method or the command we're wanting to run. So we're going to do case hello. So if the message hello is sent with the argument that we've created, which this little space right here basically shows that there's nothing between the argument and the message. I hope I'm explaining this right, and if I'm not, please feel free, like I said, to join that Discord, and I will make sure that I will address your messages as best as I can. But anyway, case hello. So if it is sent, we want to do message dot channel dot send, which this is what this is doing is it is taking the channel that the message was sent in and is replying with the message of hello there. And then after every single case, we want to make sure we break just so the case is, or the switch is able to end and it's able to find that finish, like I said. Anyway, so let's come over here. I'm going to do, we're going to Control C to bring our thing back up, and node period. This bot is online, and we're going to come into our server right here. And so like I said earlier, hello did not show up, but if we do hello there, now it responds with hello there. So that was basically just a very simple way of doing a command, which I can get into more in the future. But for the sake of this video, since it's running long, I will wrap it up here, and I hope to see you in future videos. Thanks for coming. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, comment down below or feel free to join that Discord. Thanks.